The Land of Beauty is the name given to the island of Bali. This island has magnificent views with many different cultures and unique traditions. Farming is the main occupation in the island. Here the farmers are successfully well known. In order to provide an irrigation system, the farmers gather themselves into a cooperation called Subak. Subak is a traditional and cooperative irrigation system in Bali, which has existed since the 9th century. Several ancient inscriptions, one of them is the Mantenin inscription, dated in the year 986. The inscription describes the word Undagi Pangarung, which means tunnel builder. The words kilan or tuk-tuk were also mentioned in the other scripts. Kilan or tuk-tuk was a measurement device. A simple notched log means a system where water is to be distributed equally among farmers. The Purana Markandeya inscription describes the duties of the Pakase and Subak. Pakase is the person who oversees water distribution, and Subak is the person who is in charge of the paddy fields. The Subak has significant characteristics. Subak follows the Trihita Karana, which is the three causes of happiness. The Trihita Karana is one of the aspects in the Hindu religion. Trihita Karana believes that happiness can only be fulfilled when the Creator, the people and nature are confined in harmony. The fulfillment of this philosophy can be seen in Subak. The consecration of Trihita Karana, known as the Parahyangan, which represents the element of God, the Pawongan, or the community, which is the element of the members, and the element of nature, which is symbolized by the rice field known as the Palamahan. Members of the Subak usually perform various ceremonies to show their appreciation to their God for all the goodness that has been brought to them. One of the ceremonies is known as the Mulang Pakelem. The purpose and meaning of this ceremony is to keep the balance of the people and the environment by sacrificing various farming products from plants to animals as holy offerings to their gods. The offering are usually presented to the source of water, either to a spring, lake or to the sea. This Mulang Pakelem ceremony took place at Lake Batur in the sub-district of Kintamani in the Bali district. This ceremony is attended by the members of Subak who believe the source of water that run through their fields originate from Lake Batur. The sources of water in Bali are lakes, reservoirs, rivers, springs, groundwater and rainwater. The lakes which supply water in Bali are Lake Batur in Bangli, Lake Beratan in Tabanan, Lake Buyan and Lake Tamblingan in the Buleleng district. Rivers in Bali are the sources of water for irrigation. Members of the Subak are called upon to perform manual labor, and they communally work together to build various irrigation structures in order to facilitate the distribution of water to the rice fields. Irrigation development involves the work of the following structures: ampelan or weir. Today, with the government funds, these structures can now be built permanently. Buka is a water intake. Labah air or the primary canal. Pepil, the function of pepil is to spill excess water onto the canal. Andungan or sand tray. Andungan was built to collect the sediment material, silt, can reduce the capacity of the canals. Pengorosan or silt drain. Pengorosan is used to drain accumulated silt. Tunneling or aungan. This is a tunnel which is built underground. Members of Subak work communally to build a tunnel with simple technology. The length of one tunnel is as long as 3 kilometers. Tembuku Air is the primary division structure to the Subak system in Bali. Telabah, or the secondary canal. Tembuku Pamaron is a key structure for the secondary canal. Telabah Jerik, or the tertiary canal. And the Telabah Penyahjah, or the farm canal. The lupak is a device to detect the water flow in the Subak irrigation system. This simple device produces a sound that indicates the flow of water. A weaker sound indicates less water flow, and vice versa. The division structure are constructed by the Subak members, supervised by the Subak officials. Coconut logs, bamboo, and other palm trees are used as the construction materials. The Sastra Asta Kosala Kosali is a piece of ancient literature which provides guidelines in building traditional architecture. Woods such as cendana, Cempaka and Majagawu are forbidden for the construction material of irrigation structure. The water is distributed proportionally to the needs of the community. The method of construction is called Basang Telabah, is the width of normally water flow which involves measuring the canal using bamboo as a rope. The bamboo rope is then folded in proportion to the quantity of water. The log are cut out in proportion to the volume of water. A level of water in the canal is used as a standard in the construction of Tembuku. If after a trial farmers do not agree to their share of water accordingly, then there will be a correction to the weir. The width of the weir can be increased as there will always be water loss along the canal. This loss is called babias or pengisap. The right on water distribution as members of Subak is determined by the two following factors. Tanah, the quantity of seedlings, and ayahan is the duties as a member. If tanah is applied, Subak members will get their share of water according to the number of seedlings. One tanah, or a bundle of rice stalk, weighs approximately 25 to 30 kilograms and is entitled to one share of water, or one tak-tak. If the distribution of water according to the duties of each member is applied, then there is no discrimination against each member. Water distribution according to duties means one portion of water equals to one ayahan, which is compulsory activity as a Subak member. If a member requires more than the fair share, then that member must pay the price difference, which is known as pengot or pengampel. There are two planting seasons, which are Kertamasa and Gadon. The Kertamasa season, which is the rainy season, Subak members are advised to plant rice simultaneously. During the Gadon season, Subak members plant the second crops, such as corn, vegetables, and fast-growing rice. During the dry season, there will be a shortage of water. Water is shared alternately amongst the Subak members. In Subak, the water usage is regulated so that every member will get his share of water. The distribution is arranged alternately amongst the members of Subak. The Subak member who gets water first is known as Ngulu. The second is Maongin, and the third is Ngasep. Water usage is determined according to the water requirement by the Subak meeting. In Subak, there are some areas that benefit from the excess water, known as nataktis. The obligation of members of Subak nataktis are also mentioned in Awik-Awik. The fair distribution of water has given satisfaction amongst Subak members. The structure of the organization includes Paruman Subak, Prajuru Subak, and Krama Subak. Paruman is a general meeting attended by all members of Subak. All the main results and decisions of the meeting must be approved by the members. Prajuru Subak is the administration officials in the organization of Subak. Prajuru Subak includes the Pakase or Kalian Subak as the head of the organization, Juru Raksa as the treasurer, Juru Tulis as the secretary, Juru Ara is the messenger who is responsible to spread the latest information, and Kalian Tampak or Munduk as the head of the sub-Subak division. Prajuru Subak is elected periodically by the Subak members. Krama Subak is members of Subak who own fields and have rights to water irrigation. Subak members can be classified into three groups. Krama Pengayah are members who conduct various activities of Subak. Pengampel or Pengot and Krama Pengampel are non-active members of Subak who in return pay a fee in cash or a kind. Krama Luput are members of Subak who are excused from all activities because they hold a certain position in the village, such as the Pamangku, a temple priest, Pendesa Adat, and Sulingi. Kulkul is a wooden bell that is made from a hollow log. It is hit to signal that a Subak meeting is about to start. Subak members stop their activities and head to the meeting. The meeting is attended by all the members and the officials of Subak. Chane, which is made up from rolled up betel leaf, is used to count the number of members attending the meeting. The chane is distributed to every member attending before the meeting starts. The number of chanes distributed verifies the number of members in the meeting. A timer known as jangi is made of a coconut shell and filled up with water to indicate the start of the meeting. This simple tool is used in all Subak activities. If a member is late or misses a meeting, a fine is levied. The fine is based on the water left inside the coconut shell.
Om Swastiastu. Om Swastiastu.
Paruman is held when there are matters in Subak which needs to be discussed, such as updating the organization structure, making new rules and regulations. In Balinese terms, these rules and regulations are known as Awik-Awik and Paswara or Pararam. Awik-Awik are traditional rules written on lontar and sometimes preserved by oral traditions. Baswara or Pararam are the rules to be completed by the awig-awig. Ordinary affairs in Subak are discussed in Sangkapan. If the meeting is missed by any members of Subak, that is, after the jangi is empty, a fine is levied according to the rules of awig-awig or Pararam.
Mungkin Pak kesatukan telah sampun Toya jangi mungkin ke wau niki ko niki ben sikit ni sampun api niki Pak. Patut na niki.
Siro punika sani kasep, yayang medangi. Nah sepuniki melinggi dimun becikang. Nah sekadi jero ni sani wau rau puniki patut kesalitang. Nah puniki mangdo sani mangkit naur penyalit punika Rp100.
Wal nika yang jangan dunya. Itu sebab tu musang pipes kerapat.
A member of Subak will be fined if he steals water from the Subak irrigation canal.
Dah, ni apa lancar tu? Mengit ya, teruslah kena mengit ya. Nah, kini dah na. Yang menurut Pararam 20.000 salah na, mani di Pauman ke awak maya.
The funds for the organization comes from administration fee of members, known as Sarin Tahun, in the form of rice. Income from farming ducks and other sources, such as fines, received from members of Subak and government funds. Maintenance activities concerning the irrigation structure undertaken through a collective unpaid work known as Gotong Royong. Other special characteristics of Subak members are the religious ceremonies which are held in association with rice farming. This is Mapag Toya ceremony, or water flowing ceremony, is the first step before cultivating the land. The aim of the ceremony is to thank God for the water. Mapag Toya ceremony is carried out at the water intake of the Subak irrigation canal. After the Mapag Toya ceremony, individual members of the Subak carry out a ceremony called Ngendak Amajo. The aim of this ceremony is to ask Almighty God to grant him fertile land and good health so he is able to cultivate. The farmers in Bali still prepare land using traditional methods which has been passed on to them by their ancestors. All the members of the family help out in the work. The landscape of Bali affects the way the farmer cultivate the land. Although traditional methods are still being used, Subak also use modern technology and tractors are used on flat land. Farmers also rear cows to help plow the fields, and the animals can also be sold for extra income. The following ceremonies are held after the Ngendagin ceremony, which mark the rice farming cycle has been completed. Ngurit is a ritual ceremony to start of seedling. The planting of the seed ceremony is known as Nuasen Nandur. Pesembuhan is a ritual ceremony carried out by the farmer after transplanting the paddy plant. A ceremony performed as the rice begins to ripen and is said to be pregnant is known as Nisa. Bia Kokong is an offering ceremony by a farmer when the rice is at milk stage. Now, as the grains start to form on the heads, scarecrows are erected and bamboo poles are stuck into the ground with long strings fastened to them. The women are preparing offerings for the Nyangkat ceremony, a ceremony to celebrate harvest. The farmers' wives bring offerings made from various fruits, homemade rice cakes, to show how grateful they are for their harvest that God has given to them. As an ending to the various events, a Mantenin ceremony is carried out. This ceremony is performed after the rice has been placed in the rice barn. The aim of the ceremony is to thank and ask for protection over the harvest. A figure of Dewa Nini as a symbol of prosperity is also placed in the rice barn. As the population increases and many industries growing in Bali, this development will have effects towards the existence of Subak. In order to preserve Subak, many efforts have been done by the government, such as Subak Competitions. The judges of this competition come from government organizations. The competitors, who are Subaks from different regions in Bali, must fulfill the terms of Parahyangan, Pawongan, and Palemahan, which includes the technical, religious, and organization aspects. The government of Indonesia has carried out various training programs for farmers to improve their know-how in irrigation. This program has been directly implemented through the agencies involved. Training in irrigation technology for farmers is carried out by the Irrigational Service of the Bali Provincial in Public Works. In addition to the training, Subak Gede and Subak Agung were established as an open forum to harmonize the distribution of water and coordinate the crop pattern. Subak Gede is a group of Subaks who join and work closely together. Subak Agung is a group of Subak and other Subaks who merge to form a cooperation because they share the common water source for their irrigation. The government, Subak Agung and Subak Gede form a teamwork to organize the operation of water distribution for irrigation. Training for Subak members in the use of insecticides is conducted by the Agricultural Service in the Food Crop Division. Thus ends the story of Subak in Bali, an organization which practices traditional irrigation system and attribute aspects of a social, religious agriculture which has survived this modern era.